The Old Testament, it's filled with accounts of the people of Israel and Judah turning their backs on God and punishing them. And same with the people invading the lands of Israel and Judah. And the deaths were numbering in the hundreds of thousands. I can't even begin to comprehend the amounts of lives that were lost. Could you speak a little bit more towards God's decision to do that? Because it's something that I have a lot of confusion with.
God is in a position to judge. Because God is just, his judgments are just. Because God is loving, he offers everybody grace. But when a group of people or an individual insists upon perpetrating evil on and on and on, God judges. So God used the Jews to judge the Canaanites, Hittites, Philistines, Amorites, because they were perverting the worship of God by saying, you want to know God? Have sex with a temple prostitute. You want to know God better? Take your baby and offer it as a sacrifice on an altar. And God said enough, and he judged them. The reason that is not genocide is because a couple of hundred years later, God used first the Assyrians and then the Babylonians to judge the Jews for their engagement in temple prostitution and sacrificing their babies on altars. So God is just, God is fair. And if you want to do evil and refuse to repent, ultimately he will judge you, either in this life or in the life after. When America says that you just are an isolated individual and what you do has no impact on little kids, elderly, family, neighbors, no. The Bible has a much more comprehensive view of human beings. What I do has ripple effects into the life of my son, my grandchildren, my neighbors. If you think that UMass Amherst was put together last summer, you are naive. UMass Amherst, this very fine university, was put together over a long period of time by a lot of people who work and sacrifice to bring this university into existence. In the same way that people have made very good decisions, like putting UMass Amherst together, people have made very irresponsible decisions, like destroying their bodies with smoke, like ripping people off and putting them in a position to get cancer because they did not want to take care of waste from a factory. And the list goes on and on, be it racism, sexism, genocide, violence, of how we make decisions that have ripple effects down through the ages. And so you're right, when God judged the Philistines, the Amorites, the Hittites, there were some innocent people who were swept along in that judgment, as there were probably at the time of the flood of Noah, as there are today. When God judges, it doesn't mean he just plucks the evil people out and lets the innocent people survive. No, he doesn't do it that way. He judges a culture, a society, a group. The classic example of this is Genesis chapter 18. Abraham is standing over the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. God says, I'm going to judge them. And Abraham says, what if there are 50 righteous people down there? You still going to judge them? God says, no. 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15. 10. And God says, no. If there are 10 righteous people down there, I'm not going to judge it. But the question that Abraham was struggling with is the judge of the whole earth just? And when he counted down to 10 people, obviously Abraham decided in his own mind, indeed God is just. The cross of Christ is a clear statement. The wages of sin is death, but God is also gracious, loving, and merciful. And that's why Christ sacrificed his life on a cross to pay the penalty for our wrongdoing, to give us forgiveness and eternal life.